You snuck up on us.
We are sneaking up.
There's usually an announcement.
Oh,
Thank you. Okay, there we go. Like the Tonight Show opening, the curtains.
So you're gonna have to do it again now. Wait, we have to come again. Da, 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 da. No, okay.
Shall we start? The show must go on.
Okay, folks, I know we're not your greater interest today, but we still are going forward with what we have to say. All right. So I'm glad to be joined by Senators Stabenow and Coons, and it's no secret what's on everybody's mind. So I'll dig right into the most important business in the Senate right now, and that's the National Security Supplemental. From securing our southern border to helping friends in Israel and innocent civilians in Gaza, to show strength in the Indo-Pacific, and of course standing with Ukraine. We have too much on our plate, all of which is so important to give up. We're not giving up. A month ago, I said the only way we'll rise to the occasion if both sides are serious about finding bipartisan compromise. This is one of the most difficult tasks we've taken, and the only way through it to a solution is to do it together in a bipartisan way. Nonetheless, Democrats have been resolute in our seriousness and dedication, and for months we've been true to our word, working with Republicans on border security, listening to their proposal, coming to an agreement on a vast range of issues. It's unfortunate and deeply disturbing to hear those on the hard right trying to sink the bipartisan work happening here in the Senate. The hypocrisy of calling the border broken and an emergency for months, and now when time is here to make meaningful change and everyone agrees the change is meaningful and deep, their tones have changed. But in our caucus, our responsibility is clear to us. We need to put the needs of the country ahead of the interests of political parties. Because the security of the southern border is on the line, the security of Israel is on the line, the health and safety of innocent Gaza civilians is on the line, and the stability of the Indo-Pacific is on the line. And finally, as every single senator knows, the survival of Ukraine and perhaps all of the West is on the line as well. It'll soon be 2 years since Putin began his illegal, savage, vicious campaign against the Ukrainian people. American military assistance has been one of the very most important lifelines Ukrainian fighters have since the start of the war. The aid's about to run out. So the matter here is simple, as President Zelensky told us. Ukraine will win the war against Russia if more aid is approved by Congress. If no more aid is approved, Putin will win. We dare not hand Eastern Europe over to Vladimir Putin. The supplemental is how we will ensure that Western democracy is protected. For sure, the work is not easy. It's very hard. But we keep making progress. We keep taking disagreements and turning them into agreements, and we remain committed to bipartisanship and will keep working. Senator Stabenow.
Well, first, I just want to thank Senator Schumer and everyone who's working together on a bipartisan basis. Senator McConnell, this is incredibly serious, and it's being worked on that way in the Senate. Tremendous amount of bipartisan work, and we have to get this done. We have to get this done. Unfortunately, though, as we're all seeing, House Republican leaders are taking their marching orders from Donald Trump, who wants to keep the chaos at the border, and he's rooting for the economy to collapse. This, of course, hurts Americans. It weakens our national security and greatly diminishes the respect and trust for America around the world. Let's face it. We know that Ukrainian President Zelensky is on Trump's retribution list, probably at the top. And he always wants to help his buddy, Vladimir Putin. But here in the Senate, we have a different idea. There has been intense bipartisan negotiations going on for weeks, as you know. And if we can get this done, everybody involved should feel so proud that we have achieved something so important for our own security at the border and security and humanitarian needs around the world. One other point. While Republican chaos and division continues, we know that, we see it every day in the House of Representatives, Democrats continue to focus on growing the middle class, getting things done for families. And that's why we are seeing, it's not an accident, that our economy grew 3.1% last year, stronger growth than any year under Donald Trump. Under President Biden, we've created 14.3 million jobs for Americans. Wages are up, and we're experiencing the world's best recovery. Donald Trump thinks chaos at the border is his ticket to the White House, and House Republicans seem happy to punch it. Meanwhile, they're willing to leave American families and communities and our allies hanging. We are not. I want to commend again this bipartisan effort that is essential to getting this done, and everybody on both sides of the aisle that's sincere in doing it.
Thank you, Senator Stabenow. Senator Christopher Coons.
The defense of Ukraine is the defense of America. Ever since Russia's brutal expanded invasion of all of Ukraine to build on their initial invasion and occupation of Crimea, the United States has come to their aid. We have sent humanitarian relief. We've provided budget support. We've sent huge stocks of needed ammunition and missiles and weapons. But so have 50 other nations. This is the front line of freedom in the world. This morning, Senator Murray hosted the speakers of the parliaments of Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. And just 2 weeks ago, Senator Rounds and I went to 4 countries in Europe and visited with the new governments in Poland and in Slovakia. Across all these conversations, there is just one question. Will America hold? Will we continue to provide the budget support that allows for firefighters to come when Russian missiles strike and destroy local civilian infrastructure and plunge civilians into the cold and dark in the Ukrainian winter? Will we continue to fund the distribution of support and relief for millions of Ukrainian refugees? Will we continue to deliver the military hardware required for brave Ukrainians who are fighting and dying today, now, to keep up their fight? The rest of the world is with us on this, the rest of the free world. And for us to step back because of a domestic political division would be tragic. For months, my Republican colleagues have said, why should we defend the border of Ukraine when we won't fix our own border? And as Leader Schumer said, he has over and over offered, we will negotiate in good faith. And now there is a deal, hard won, hard fought, that makes it possible at this last moment for us to step back and give up on humanitarian aid to those in need, on providing military support and funding to Ukraine as it needs it, on investing in our own border security, would seem to me the height of hypocrisy. So I'm encouraged that we are continuing to work, that we will finish this, that we will get it done, and the Senate will once again play its role. But I'm gravely concerned that we are on the verge of making a tragic mistake. America must hold.
Questions?
Given the challenges of getting this border deal together, are you open, or are you considering putting that aside and moving forward with the rest of the supplemental, Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan?
Look, the border deal is a very important thing to get done. Our border is broken. Our Republican colleagues over and over again have said it's an emergency and it's got to be fixed. And so we, on the Democratic side, are pursuing getting all of this done. Ukraine, Israel, humanitarian aid, Indo-Pacific, border, together. Yes?
Would the Senate hold a trial of Secretary Mayorkas if the House impeaches as soon as next week?
Let's wait and see what the House does. Yes?
Leader Schumer, does that mean you would put that deal on the floor, even if the Republican support isn't there with the border?
Look, we're working with the Republican leadership to come to an agreement so we can get a text out there as soon as we can. There are still a few issues to be resolved. Yes?
Once you put the text out, if that happens this week, do you want to keep senators in town to vote on it?
This is so important that we should not let, and I've told my caucus this just a few minutes ago, we should not let weekends or recess get in the way. We've got to get this done. Yes?
The House passes the tax bill today. What's the path in the Senate? Do you expect it to come up when? And will it be amended?
The bottom line is I support the tax bill, as I've stated before. I'm working with Senator Wyden to figure out the best way forward.
That was the same question I had.
Okay. Shucks, I had to call on you, Chad.
Yeah, well, so you obviously endorsed the tax deal here, but considering New York, considering the SALT issue, that some of these New York Republicans go and complain to the Speaker, put up a protest yesterday, was that a mistake to not have SALT in that
Look,
deal initially?
I believe that SALT is very important. It's been extremely detrimental to my state and many blue states, and we're going to figure out the best way to undo it. Thank you, everybody.